As Facebook's oversight board upheld the social network's ban of former President Trump, which went into effect after the Capitol insurrection. In its report, the oversight board noted two posts on that day, quote, at 4:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as the riot continued, Mr. Trump posted a video on Facebook and Instagram. I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everybody knows it, especially the other side. You're very special. At 6:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as police were securing the Capitol, Mr. Trump posted a written statement on Facebook. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously, viciously stripped away from great patriots who have been badly, unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love in peace. Remember this day forever. The board concluded that, quote, in maintaining an unfounded narrative of electoral fraud and persistent calls to action, Mr. Trump created an environment where a serious risk of violence was possible. Facebook was justified in suspending Mr. Trump's accounts. Facebook's board did add that the decision should be reviewed 6 months from now. Trump responded with a statement slamming the company as well as other tech firms. Quote, what Facebook, Twitter, and Google have done is a total disgrace and an embarrassment to our country. Free speech has been taken away from the President of the United States because the radical left lunatics are afraid of the truth, end quote. Several of Trump's political allies echoed his comments and called for retaliation against Facebook.
Most of the young people and some of the old people who are running these social media platforms are practically Bolsheviks. I mean, they're wokeristas. The only way to get this straight is to either properly regulate them or break them up.
The oversight board is just Facebook. And what we had today was Facebook saying that it's okay for Facebook to make up the rules as they go along and do whatever the heck they want.
No, it's not fair. Our founders fought a revolution to establish that right to free speech. I think what Facebook is doing is wrong. The answer are our monopoly laws, our antitrust laws. We have to make sure that we have 5 Facebooks.
Professor Goldbeck, let me start with you, only because the response to the Facebook decision, wherever you stand on this issue, by some Republicans has been that it is a violation of the First Amendment. That, on its face, is not true.
No, I'm always astonished, even though they have pushed this narrative really since Trump started running for president, that they think somehow having a private platform adhere to their own terms of service somehow violates the Constitution. Of course, that's not how it works. We're all held with those terms of service that we agree to follow the rules that the platform set forth. There's a lot of things you're not allowed to say on those platforms that the government would never regulate because of the First Amendment. But it sounds good, and it really appeals to people who have a kind of elementary school level understanding of what free speech means.
Jen, one doesn't have to agree with Donald Trump or some Republicans' view of this First Amendment matter with Facebook to not think that Facebook requires some regulation. In fact, I want to quote from columnist Kara Swisher today, who says Facebook has grown too powerful, and the only fix is to get government legislators to come up with a way to allow more competition and to take impossible decisions out of the hands of too few people. I know you think about this a lot. What does success look like here with respect to Facebook and its power and free speech, and how, if at all, you regulate this?
Yeah, this is one instance of a lot of reasons that Facebook needs much more regulation. Certainly the power that they and a few other social media platforms have to control and feed people information is huge. And it's not just what the president was allowed or not allowed to say, but also the entire movement surrounding that, the bots, the misinformation, all of that was fed by the algorithms that make money for these platforms. And they're making decisions based on profit, not on what's socially responsible. And that reaches its tendrils out into a lot of other problems that we see where social media touches society, with privacy, with our data being exploited. So regulation, I think, is coming. And it was very interesting today to see the Republican response to the oversight board calling for the breakup of Facebook, calling for more regulation. I heard Elizabeth Warren say this a few years ago, and suddenly we're all on the same page. So maybe that's promising.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.